There's something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the bottom is survival. You got food, you got shelter, you have water. So if you're in the middle of a desert, I don't care who you are, you're the world's most successful fucking billionaire. Suddenly you're thirsty. Suddenly you're hungry. Suddenly you're not sure if you're gonna make it. Your mind automatically gets sent to the bottom of the hierarchy. If someone puts a gun to your head, automatically your mind gets sent to the bottom of the hierarchy, survival, right? So when you're in survival, what emotion is the dominant emotion? Fear. And most people hover between this, the second one, which is safety, third one, which is love and belonging, which I'll explain in a second, the fourth one, which is self-esteem. But at the bottom, okay, anyone here ever had a hard time financially? All right, if you ever had a hard time financially, what happens to you? Do you feel good or bad? You feel fucking stressed out. Automatically go into survival. When you finally make the money, because you probably always end up getting out of the hole, and you made the money, what happens? You automatically feel a sense of ease, right? Well, you elevate. You elevate to safety. Safety means I now have some kind of stability. There's money in my bank account. My bills are paid. I'm feeling really good. Then you have some savings and everything's going well. Well, then you meet someone you love, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, you make a new friend group, maybe you join a mastermind, right? Now you get some love and belonging. You start getting like a squad, you start getting a group together. Now, this is where most people never grow. They stay here. So they oscillate between having a bunch of friends and you feel accepted, and that's where you feel your best. Wow, look at how good I feel, but what are you relying on heavily? You're relying on other people's validation. You're relying on the group. You're relying on the crowd. So if I all of a sudden am in survival, I can't think about friends. I don't care about friends right now. I don't want to be around anyone. I just want to think about my fucking survival. Now I have a job and I have money. Okay, I have some security. Cool, I figured it out. I have some stability. Now I can elevate and I can start thinking about friends and relationship building and all that good stuff. Now in relationships, what's my biggest fear? Biggest fear here is what? I'm gonna die. Biggest fear here is what? I'm not gonna have any resources. I'm gonna lose my job. I'm not gonna feel good. My boss is gonna hate me, right? Biggest fear here is your friends aren't gonna accept you. People are gonna reject you. People are gonna judge you. Suddenly you go viral on Instagram and you get a bunch of negative comments. That fucks with you, right? What did they say about me? What did they say, right? And then that loops in your mind. That's the fear here. Then you start building your confidence. Confidence, now you start becoming a leader. Now you start a company, you become a leader of your friend group. You decide, you know what? I don't need to follow anyone bad, right? I don't need to follow people who are below me. You start following people up here, right? So self-esteem, you start building your confidence. You start feeling really good. You are far beyond the survival feelings. You're not worried about the money. You're not in scarcity. You go to a restaurant, you don't look at the price of the menu. You go to the mall, you buy whatever you want, right? You're just in that environment, in that paradigm, right? And then at the highest level, you have total and complete self-awareness. You know what your fears are, you know what your insecurities are, you have control, and this is the highest paradigm. Now, someone who is in this paradigm is like Elon Musk. He's over here and he's focusing on how do we take humanity and go interstellar, right? How do we literally cross-populate planets, right? Now, you look at a homeless guy on the side of the freeway, he's thinking about who's gonna give him his next 50 cents. Completely different mindset. Different problems. He can see this guy's problems. This guy can't even comprehend this guy's problems, right? So when you're in self-actualization, you think a little bit differently. Now, the idea is, what do I do for people? I don't wait for you to make the money for you to reach self-actualization. I don't wait for your friends to like you. I don't wait for all of these things to happen. I believe that if you enter this, externally, success becomes inevitable. However, if you're successful and something sends you into one of these lower paradigms, failure becomes inevitable. And this is what happens in a recession. In a recession, suddenly you don't make as much money. In 2008, my parents had a lot of money. And to make a long story short, they ended up losing everything. But they didn't lose everything overnight. It happened progressively. And progressively, as things got worse, they kept going into a more and more negative paradigm. Until eventually, we were homeless. And I learned very quickly that if I don't control my thoughts and I don't control my emotions and I let my external environment affect me, I will never have the success I want, or at least sustain it. If you want to sustain the success, you cannot allow it to affect you. Now, let's just say I'm in a bad mood today. and I'm in a relationship. Well, if I bring that bad mood to the relationship, can I potentially ruin a relationship? Yeah. You can have 15 years with someone, and one time someone cheats, relationship is done. And your brain deletes everything that was good and says, I can't be with this person anymore, right? So I'm not saying everyone goes cheats, but I'm just giving you an example of how one bad day can ruin it. Well, in business, same thing. You have a massive client. Most businesses, you'd be shocked. Most businesses rely on 2 or 3 really big clients. And if those 2 or 3 really big clients disappeared, what would happen? Their entire business would go under. They don't have stability, right? So what happens when that 2 or 3 client tells you, hey, we're not renewing the contract next month? Now what? What do most people go into? Survive. Your job is to never leave survival, never leave self-actualization, ever. And when you see yourself sinking, you just know it's not going to happen. So how do you do that? Well, the average person does what? They don't understand 2 things. Our mind works on a timeline. And the mind is constantly taking the present moment, looking at the past, and trying to predict the future. Now, if you look at the hierarchy, and I'm in the present moment, and things are going really well, and really well means what? It means that in the past, when things went really well, things were really good in the future. Or things that weren't well, this is now new for me, I don't know what's going to happen, right? So that's why some people grow up in a shitty environment. They have shitty relationships. They have shitty people around them. And now the best thing that ever happens to them shows up in their life. Their brain can't predict what's going to happen. So they're like, this must be a worse version of what I had. This must be someone who's playing me a little bit better. This must be someone who's going to hurt me a little bit more, right? So imagine you had a shitty person you were with and you fell in love with them. And then they broke your heart. Then you get someone who's 10 out of 10 perfect. The best you've ever had. Your mind can't predict the future now, and it goes, well, I've been hurt before. Well, what if I fall in love with a person who's even better? I might get hurt a little bit more, right? So my mind suddenly starts to ruin it and sabotage it because it starts creating a negative future. Your mind is always predicting the future. As a matter of fact, the most important lesson you're going to learn from me all weekend is what I'm about to share with you this second. Your future self controls how your present self feels. Most of the time, you think it's the evidence that you have in your present that controls your future. And that's most people. But there is one of 2 futures your brain unconsciously believes you're going to have. If we're just dumbing it down. It believes you're going to have a positive result or a negative one. If you're going to have a negative result, what is your mind going to look for in the present moment? It's not going to look for green flags. It's not going to look for things that are good. It's going to look for what? Red flags. What's wrong? What can go wrong? And then your mind unconsciously starts looping on the future. When you feel stressed financially, what do you see? You see yourself running out of money. You see your bills not being paid. You see your business going under. You see things that, you're going to ruin your credit. Shit, what are we going to fucking do? We're going to lose everything we built. That's what your mind starts playing. If your mind's playing that scenario, how are you going to feel in the present? Like shit. And if you feel like shit and emotions control all actions, that's actually a rule. That's a law. It's not an opinion. That's a law. If emotions control all actions and I feel shitty emotions, what happens to my actions? Are they good or bad? So let's just say you're in a relationship, because this is a very relatable, easy one to understand, right? I'm in the present moment in a relationship. In the past, I got fucked over in my relationships. All right, cheat on, betrayed, whatever. Now, my partner is the best partner I ever had. But they go to work. And usually at 11:30 every day, from 11:20 to 11:40, they shoot me a text, how's your day going? Today, they didn't. Maybe they got a meeting, who knows what. My mind goes, wait a second. In my past, when they didn't shoot me a text, what did they do? They were out with someone else. So now in the present, your brain goes, well, look at what's going on now. No text. The past, your brain aligns and says, this is the same thing as that. And then it predicts the future where your brain goes, oh yeah, here I am about to lose it all. I'm about to lose everything I have. They're about to cheat on me. It's about to happen again. And then what is your feeling in the present? Negative. And then what happens? You start blowing them up. Where the fuck are you? What's going on? You're fucking asshole. You're crazy. You start feeling like shit. You go into anxiety. You start having scenarios playing in your head. And then They finish their meeting, they're in a great mood. They're like, hey, sorry I was in a meeting. They look at their phone, 18 missed calls, 30 messages, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, you're this, you're that, right? And what do they feel now? Now what? Now they go, what the fuck is going on? And now you just broke their trust. Now they feel they can't be emotionally safe with you. And now that's the beginning of the end of the relationship. And then eventually, if they don't want to leave and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, they'll fucking leave. Your mind will say they cheated, they were never there, you were never always right from the beginning. Well, you created it. Now, inversely, imagine you dealt with all this past shit. And you're like, okay, this will never happen again because I'm not going to bring that energy into the present. Now they don't reply. You're like, they're probably working. Suddenly, you feel good about it. Suddenly, you're like, hey, I know you're probably in a meeting. I love you. I can't wait to see you later. They come home, you surprise them, you give them everything, they're wanting. You're just bringing that energy. Now, what future are you seeing? You're seeing family, kids, marriage, you're seeing things work out. Well, most people are used to seeing things not work out. So, even though people copying me here, I guess I'm doing something right. This is my quote. I invented it. And even though it's gotten hundreds of millions of views, this is my fucking quote. You're either confident, or you're confident you're not. You're either confident you're going to get what you want, or you're confident you're going to get what you don't want. One way or another, you're confident. Confidence just means you believe and you're comfortable with the belief. You're comfortable, you're so certain that this thing's going to happen that you believe it. And if I believe things are not going to go well in the future, how am I going to feel in the present? Bad. So what's the cure, right? Because you got to realize sometimes things don't work out in the present. Sometimes you talk to someone and they really aren't aligned with your fucking future. They really aren't. What do you do then? Well, we build a future. And I've talked to you guys about this in Mental Millionaire, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it again. You got to build a future that is so beautiful and so compelling that no matter what, that's going to be your future, right? Like my thought process now, and I was saying this last night as I came in the room and we were looking at the room, is I'm closer now to having stadiums than I was to my beginning of my journey. So I'm closer to the version of me that's going to have stadiums full of people and seminars that are massive than I am to the version of me that had his first seminar. That version of me is further away from me than the version of me that's going to have tens of thousands of people in a room. So that was an exciting thought. But that image of me in stadiums, I've had from seminar number 1. From day number 1, I made a video. At my first ever seminar, I had 4 people show up. At the time when I filmed it, 7 in total, all of them were my friends. At my first ever seminar, I made a video. And I said, no matter what, I know for a fact I'm going to be really big one day. And people are going to pay a lot of money to come see me. And people had a chance to come do it for free. They didn't do it, right? And I told myself, just, you're motivated today, you'll be motivated then, don't give up. I was 19 when I made the video. And here I am at 27, and obviously I was right. So from day 1, I had this vision in my head where I'm going to be. And everything that could have gone wrong from that video onwards happened. Everything that didn't work out for me did not work out. There was never a day where I woke up and said, today's a fucking good day. Thank you, God, you handed me money. Thank you, God, you gave me what I wanted. No, I woke up, dog's eyes. I woke up, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. After my first fucking seminar, even my first seminar, let me give you guys perspective. I had one girlfriend I was in love with in high school. She leaves. She ends up with another guy in 12 days. I feel it, I know it, I text her, I never see her again. I didn't get another girlfriend. That's 2016, January 15th, she left. Like 14 days later, she's with another guy. Now we're talking 2017, June 23rd. I start liking this other girl. I'm talking to her every day for 3 months prior to my seminar. I'm telling her what I think I'm gonna talk about, whatever. I'm talking about my goals. She's telling me about her goals. And we really click. We talk 7-8 hours a day. I call her right before the seminar because I had like 1,000 people invited. And on Facebook, back then it said going, maybe not going. On the day of, all of a sudden I'm getting like 900 something people saying not going, not going, not going, not going. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm like, this is gonna be embarrassing. I don't wanna come to the seminar. So I tell her, hey, don't come to the seminar. This is the first time we're gonna hang out since I met her. And she calls me, she's like, no, I'm coming no matter what. So she shows up to the seminar, talks to me for like 2-3 hours beforehand. I feel really fucking good. I'm excited. I'm like, wow, like how lucky am I? Like I didn't think I'd feel this way again since my last girlfriend. I'm having my first seminar. Like I feel accomplished. I feel fucking awesome. I'm flying on a plane for the first time the next day. My sister and my mom flew to Israel. I'm flying there the next day for a wedding. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna finish this seminar. I'm gonna get a girlfriend. I'm gonna fly to Israel. Everything's awesome, right? I just see things working out. I filmed this fucking video. I'm like, all right, don't give up. You're gonna be solid. I finished my seminar. I'm feeling pretty good. My friend Philip goes, hey, you wanna come to my house and celebrate? We're gonna do a party, right? And I go, sure, let's go. So I tell her, do you wanna come? She's like, yeah, let's go. We walk into Philip's house. He's this massive mansion, okay? Big ass house. He has an Aston Martin out front and a Mercedes AMG GTS, right? At the time, it was the sickest, hottest car. And we go in. Second we go in, she's cold as fuck to me. She starts flirting with my friend and goes and gets with my friend, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, nice. So immediate slap in the face, right? Like, all out of nowhere, first seminar. Well, I just continued. I didn't talk to her again. I just said, fuck it, locked in. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. But because I had this one image in my head, I was always able to tap into a positive state. And that was where my confidence came from. My confidence initially came from knowing who I was internally, knowing how much love I could give, knowing how deep I felt things, knowing how empathetic I was, knowing how relentless my drive came from, right? Like I would never give up. I had this insatiable hunger, no matter what, from an early age. I said, I'm gonna go do it. And when I started to build a business, it's a different kind of confidence. It's not just a confidence on who you are. It's a confidence on, am I actually going to succeed? Like, I'm throwing shit at the wall. I'm going to be some magician, some fucking hypnotist, right? And make money. And I'm going to make a living. Like, who knows? I have no idea. I couldn't even conceptualize $1 million in a year. That wasn't a concept, let alone millions of dollars in a month, in a weekend. It wasn't a concept at the time. And I had to build my confidence in a different way. When I was looking at Tony Robbins, because after my first seminar, someone came up to me and said, you remind me of Tony Robbins. I go look at his documentary. I see him doing, a fucking stadium, 5,000 people paying $5,000. It's $25 million. I go, he made $25 million a weekend. I didn't even know that there was upsells at seminars. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know anything. I just knew that, holy shit, he made $25 million a seminar. How much money does this guy actually have? I see his crazy mansion in Miami overlooking the water, right? I see this guy on private jets. I see him being like a mega celebrity. I'm like, well, I guess that's the vision. That's like, someone's done it before. Then only later on I found out that he studied hypnosis. Only later on I found out that he studied NLP and all this other stuff, right? So it kind of was like, oh, we're really going down a similar path. And when I looked at all that, I was like, all right, but it created an anchor, created a future version of me that was so enticing, that was so powerful, that no matter what happened in my life, I always went back to that. And I borrowed confidence from that. When I'm looking at two of my dogs who died and got ran over at the same time, 2 months after my other dog dies, I'm looking at their dead body, the image in my head was, you now have to. It cemented the image in my head that no matter what, you now have to have that be your reality. It has to be that you're gonna have a stadium. It has to be that you're gonna have millions and millions and millions of people that you're helping. It has to be. There's no other choice. And that's the day all of a sudden I started making more money. It cemented a new identity in me. Do you wanna be filthy rich? I mean, have so much money you cannot spend it. I'm not talking about buying cars. That's peasant money. I'm talking about buying islands, buying jet on jet on jet, mega yachts. Well, you have to have the mindset of someone who can do it. An abundance mindset. Most people are scared to spend money. Most people are scared to level up. Well, look at my home. It's a $50 million house in Malibu. Forget the house, look at the sunset. That's nature, it's beautiful. But what's even more beautiful than all that is the mindset that allows you to create it and enjoy it. How many miserable rich people do you know? How many people do you know that are rich that won't spend any of their money? They want to save it and take it with them to the grave. How many people do you know that are struggling every day and they have a beautiful dream and they want to level up but they can't? Well, I've created a program that literally teaches you how to have an abundance mindset. And here's the best part. I've just added an extremely powerful hypnosis audio that has never been seen before anywhere else on any of my programs that will program your brain to have it. So what does an abundance mindset look like? It looks like someone who can attract infinite money and spend as much as they want so they can really have the life they want. I feel like I'm on vacation every day. I'm so proud of what I built. I'm so proud of my skill set. And I'm so proud of the gift that God has given me that I can now give to you. I want to share this with you. God wants you in abundance, and let me help you enter that new state. Let me help you enter that new reality. Click the link below where it says Abundance Mindset. Get yourself a copy of it right now. This program you'll have access for the rest of your life. Whenever you need a reminder, you'll be able to go through it again. Whenever you're going through a hard time, you'll be able to go through it again. Whenever you're leveling up and you want to go faster, you'll be able to go through it again. And that hypnosis audio will continuously remotivate you, reprogram your mind for every level you level up. Every time you watch that program, every time you reach a new income bracket, you'll get new insights that you maybe didn't notice before. So enjoy abundance mindset below, and I will see you on the other side.